what about LSU, Missouri? All right, so do we still think that Missouri's cornerbacks and pass defense are as strong as we were thinking they could be coming into the season? This will be their best. This will be their toughest test.
What do you think about Kansas State's passing game? Like, how good do you think it is?
Their talent at wide receiver is nowhere close to LSU's. Their quarterbacking is not close to LSU's.
I mean, if there's a game out there that's like buy the dip, sell
it's
the
LSU
high,
to come back.
This one, yeah.
That's
how many yards is Luther Burden going to have in this game?
That's the other thing is because do you know what oh man, I'm so sorry. I cannot give credit for this, but one of the storylines that was being pulled during all the availability this week is that if you really look at the numbers, this LSU offense is running right in line with 2019 LSU, which in a vacuum, yeah, sure. That's great. So my challenge would be, is this LSU defense going to have the wake up moment that LSU defense did after they gave up a whole bunch of points, I believe, to Vanderbilt? It was either the Vanderbilt or the Ole Miss game went totally sideways. Then they got a bunch of things corrected and got enough defense down the line. Is this a spot going up against, Brady Cook and Luther Burden and this Missouri team? Is this a spot where they can get off the mat and actually, show some inspiration? Because they've got 2 losses overall, and we dogged them on Monday. But they've only got 1 conference loss. And with Alabama still on deck, LSU can still get it to the SEC championship, but they're not going to be able to do it unless they fix that defense.
I think if you're LSU, knowing how poor your secondary has played, maybe this ends up biting you in the ass. But again, considering how things have gone before, I don't know that that's really any different than what you've had. But I would probably be selling out on Burden. I don't think I would have so much of my defensive scheme to slowing him down and stopping him and be like, all right, Brady Cook, let's find out if you're actually that good. Go to your other guys. See what happens. Can you guys continue to move the ball down the field that same way? Will that be effective? Will that be their plan? I don't know, but that's what I'm trying to do in this one, because Burden really has been, to a large degree, the offense for the Tigers. He is just the release valve. Throw the ball out there, get it to him, and let him go do crazy stuff. And it has been very effective. So I do not blame them for continuing to do it. But if I'm LSU, that's what I'm trying to take away. Because if they do, the LSU offense is really good. And I have respect for this Missouri defense, but I don't know how many defenses are out there that I can actually stop the LSU offense when it executes. So this, like you're saying, but the buyback kind of thing, that's kind of where I'm leaning on this one too.
It's easier said than done, though, because if you look at the history of Eli Drinkwitz's offenses, he does a great job of taking his best player and putting him in the slot. We talked about this in the offseason when we talked a little college fantasy football. Who played the slot last year for them?
Love it.
Who led the SEC in receiving last year?
Love it.
Yeah, and Burden's a better player. They put the guy in a slot to give him a clean release. It's hard to press him. They move him around. They get him on a safety. I don't know if LSU has somebody that they feel comfortable traveling with him, right? So, but obviously, if it's hard to play some of that bracket stuff on the slot, and it can mess with the rest of your defense. I will say LSU got the best game they've got all year out of Perkins against Ole Miss. They just got a really crappy game by everybody else. Perkins is now playing more of that just go get it role. What's the downside to just having the front drop all the 2-gap stuff and just, hey man, just get after it, cause chaos. We'll play a 14 possession game because you'll get a couple sacks. We'll get off the field a little bit. We'll give up a couple 50-yard bombs. You're already doing the other side. You just didn't get the havoc quite as much against Ole Miss. So I wonder if LSU doesn't just turn it loose and be like, all right, whatever, burn us. We'll burn you back. I think both sides might actually do that, because I don't think Ole Miss, I don't think Missouri can hold up in coverage very well against these guys. So this could be a really, really fun game to watch if that's how they both play it.
Over under of 64.5. Line too little?
Over.
Yeah.
That's where I'm leaning. Will I lock it up? We'll find out.
We'll find out on Thursday. Any other notes or a matchup you want to get some attention to?
in that one. I
will
say, like, Missouri, if
we've
you
been
go
sitting for
full out Burden, Theo Weiss has been a pretty nice number 2 for them.
former
they do
Oklahoma
yeah,
wide receiver. Yeah,
they got some guys who can play pretty well.
Mookie Cooper.
Cook takes care of the ball so far, really. I mean, he just set the SEC record for consecutive passes without a pick. So, I mean, Drinkwitz and those guys scheme it up really well, and he doesn't take a lot of chances. You know, can you move him off his spot? We'll see. That's going to be an interesting one.
Do you guys go into a different game here? We talked about it a little bit. Maryland at Ohio State. How much faith do you have in Talia and the Terps in that offense to be able to move the ball against this Ohio State defense?
None. I like Ohio State's defense better than I like its offense.
Straight to the point.
And I'm the sucker who said that they get off the bus and score 40. And I don't even think they need to do that because of where that defense is at right now. They are absolutely ferocious. I think it's going to be a lot of problems for Talia, who can limit turnovers, but has a whoopsie daisy monster growing inside of him, ready to emerge at any moment.
So if I set Talia's interception prop at 1.5, where are you going?
Over.
Wow.
No, hold on. Turnovers. Can I get
1.5?
Yeah, I'm going to go over 1.5 total turnovers.
Okay.
So that's still a lot. I mean, you could get sacks and you know, just incompletes. I think it's a good number. Not a lot, but I will say that Maryland has been better than I thought they would be. I thought Indiana could give them some problems and was way wrong about that, obviously. This offense is better than I thought it was. Like, maybe I need to stop doubting them. I don't know. But Ohio State's defense does look like it's for real. This is the best passing game they've seen, though, right?
Yeah.
Clearly.
Definitely the quarterback with the most screw it, I'm just going to throw this anyway kind of energy that they've faced to this point.
Like, I think I would take Hartman over Talia.
Yeah.
But receiver-wise, like, it's clearly,
I was going to say, like, total
Maryland.
passing game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's a situation like I'm getting at. Like, if you're defending a player like Hartman and you're trying to take away the big plays and trying to force him into taking the smart throws, Hartman's going to take the smart throws.
Yeah.
Talia might try to force some things that he's capable of making, and which is why he kind of forces them. So you might get, even if you're trying to take it away, like he might just be like, oh. It's like when you're playing poker and you're trying to bluff somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. Talia's got some of that energy going.
Yeah.
It speaks to me. Talia and I are poker brothers. And